Well, I just painted a little memorial bench for my husband Randy, and who I said was the security guard here. And the longer they're gone, the more you start realizing what an exceptional person they were. So I don't know if I can talk, but it's just some friend of mine called him the Buddhist bouncer because he was so peaceful and dedicated to being non-volatile. He just had no time for anger. Just wasn't a part of his life at all. In the early days in college, he was wearing white and barefoot for like 8 years. He was barefoot everywhere, and he was into motorcycles and always had a huge smile on his face, and just I used to tell stories of him to my friends when I moved out west, that he he would be working on a car because he was totally into automobiles, and he was a consultant, and motorcycles, and he'd be leaning over into a car and he's got his whole body into the bonnet there, and then he'd come out and he'd have a big smile on his face. He says, "Can you believe it? I went all the way to town and I got the wrong part." And he's laughing about it. He says, "I got to go back into town." I said, "Do you know what other men would be doing at this time? They would not be cheery and laughing, and so that just epitomized him. He was gentle and had a lot of clarity and ability to get right to the situation at hand and see it clearly, and see it without confusion. And he was my rock, and I'm having a real hard time being stable without him. Everybody says that, that how much they just feel his absence. But a lot of people are saying that they feel his presence too, because he's still around. And that's the nice thing to close with, is that we did tape him during his last days of his life. We did, audio. And at one point he says, and I wanted to have it for this show, but it was almost too much for me to deal with. He says that he's finally decided that he's not going to hold on anymore. He says, "I'm going to accept my death." And then he gets a little choked up and he just says, "I know that I'm going to miss everyone in this form." He says, "But I know absolutely that I will be strong enough to be there for any of you that call on me after I'm gone. I know this." So we got an agent up there, or wherever. It's not up there, it's there, it's here. It's all like, and after he passed too, I went up to this hill which was near where we got to stay with some lovely friends who let him, basically let my husband die there. These beautiful people. And I just felt like, all of a sudden a wind picked up and I went like, "That's Randy hugging me," and you just really got this major hit of what happens to you afterwards, that you just become a part of absolutely every life force that there is. That's what will happen to all of us, and that's very lovely, I think.